Healthy You Vending. They said all you needed was 50 daily consumers at your location, and that would be sufficient. We didn't really get any tools on how to sell. They showed us a trick where you give a couple snacks away, and that should be it. That wasn't at all what I experienced. That's when I started looking at Vending Accelerator and just seeing how you positioned yourself and your value proposition. And I watched your stuff for about a year until I finally engaged. What really amazed me was your guys' high standards. Like 300 daily traffic was something new to me. Going back to the Healthy You Vending, I thought 50 was the benchmark. So far off, so 6x that. The YMCAs that we're in, one of them is like over 800, the other one's over 1,200, and they're doing great. So combined, we're doing about $150 a day in sales.
Alex, how are you?
How's it going, Ryan?
Going well. Appreciate you jumping on this call with me. Just wanted to catch up with you. Give me a little bit of rundown when you got into this business, because you didn't work with Vending Accelerator from the get-go. How did you get into this business?
Yeah, so about 2 or 3 years ago, I was looking for an entrepreneurial outlet, and I stumbled upon vending. It seemed like a low risk, high reward, and I found a company called Healthy You Vending, jumped in with them, got into their program, and they basically sold me a bunch of machines with a business plan and a whole bunch of promises. And when I came down to it, none of those promises were fulfilled. And the biggest one was that they said all you needed was 50 daily consumers at your location, and that would be sufficient. We didn't really get any tools on how to sell. They showed us a trick where you give a couple snacks away, and that should be it. That wasn't at all what I experienced. And so I couldn't use anything that they gave me, went on my own, and I found a couple of locations and contracts just to get all the machines that I bought. So I bought 14 up front.
Got it. Healthy You Vending, I think they have some sort of program where they claim that they'll get you the locations, or you save a little bit of money and they'll give you the high level tips and tricks to be able to secure your own locations. And that's what you did, hoping that would be the case, correct?
Yeah, and that's correct. Never been in marketing or sales. I didn't realize what they were selling just wasn't sufficient enough. We were not equipped at all. Being an entrepreneur, I figured it out the best I could and got it in a bunch of locations, but they weren't lucrative at all. They weren't making any money. And it was just by the luck of 2 machines doing well, I was even able to break even.
Got it. So those first 14 machines, the advice they gave you was to just walk in with a few snacks and that's about it?
Yeah, and it wasn't even a continual coaching or any ongoing support. It was one day of this is how we do it and you'll be successful. And so when we called back for some more help, they obviously weren't equipped to give the right help. And so it didn't even matter at that point.
Wow.
And that's when I started looking at Vending Accelerator and just seeing how you positioned yourself and your value proposition. And I watched your stuff for about a year until I finally engaged.
Okay, very cool. We actually pulled up your numbers. You shared them with me. I'll put them up on the screen here. We broke down the numbers. Your averaging was about $360 per location.
Yeah, $360 per location, but there's 2 machines that were my flagships and basically did all the weight. There was machines that did like $80 a month, basically nothing. And those were painful.
Yep. You can see that here right on that report, is that some of them are actually down super low, making less than on average $100 a month. And then a couple of those better locations is what brought those numbers even up at all to be across the board 360 on average per location, which, no surprise, puts you right in the range of $300 to $400 a month, which is what the average vending machine in the United States makes. You know that with the Vending Accelerator, that's not what we do. We actually work with our clients so we can help you get into high traffic locations. You're able to get your first 2 high traffic vending machine locations. We're able to help you get into a couple high traffic YMCA locations locally. How are those going?
Yeah, those are great. I first want to say that what really amazed me was your guys' high standards. Like 300 daily traffic was something new to me. Going back to the Healthy You Vending, I thought 50 was the benchmark. So far off, so 6x that. The YMCAs that we're in, one of them is like over 800, the other one's over 1,200, and they're doing great. So combined, we're doing about $150 a day in sales.
$150 a day in sales. Fantastic. How many days a week?
So they're open 6 days a week. Sundays, they're off.
6 days a week. So that puts you about 24 days out of the month, correct?
Yeah.
$150 a day, 24 days out of the month, puts you about $3,600, almost $4,000 a month in revenue between 2 locations, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely, it's outperforming all of my other locations for sure.
Okay. So you have total how many locations?
So now I think with these 2 YMCAs, about 24, 26 or something like that.
Gotcha. And those 2 locations make up how much of your overall revenue, sales?
It's about a third of my revenue, but the real metric for me is like the ROI, because each of those other locations I had to invest 10 grand grand.
Wow.
And so these two locations investing 30 grand are making up, you know, a third of the business. So it's really like 5xing my ROI.
Yeah, you 5 times your ROI, because when you come down to it, here at Vending Accelerator, as you know, you get a far superior vending machine at a cheaper cost because we don't mark up our vending machines. We're not a seller. We don't have machine packages. We're not doing it like the Healthy You way, who mark up their vending machines by $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a piece. You actually get to buy directly from the manufacturer, save money. How have those Crane vending machines been compared to the Healthy You Sega vending machines?
Yeah, it's funny because when you unbox them, it's something you've never seen before. And so they're amazing machines, they're workhorses, the user friendliness of it from an operator standpoint, but then from a consumer standpoint, it's pretty cool. So anybody who sees them is just amazed at them, and I love them out the box.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear it all the time. They get those machines unwrapped out of the cardboard, no bubble wrap, and they're like, whoa, okay, they changed the game. This is a gorgeous vending machine. So
to that point, I'm at the YMCA's, and another executive director was in visiting, and he saw those machines, and now we're following up to get into that other YMCA just based upon looking at the machine and seeing the organic healthy snacks. And so that one is actually going to be even a better location.
Wow, that's awesome. We appreciate you believing in and trusting the Vending Accelerator way after going through an experience like you did with Healthy You Vending. So with that said, did we deliver upon our promises?
Yeah, but I'd say even more so. The tools you guys provide are really game changers. And from me doing some research on marketing and sales in general, which I have no background in, you guys fill that void. So from the upfront calls, you're taking all the cold calling away that I would have had to have done and fumble over. From the marketing and the way you guys have laid out the brochures and the problems and solutions you provide is so clean cut. And then upon the other sales and closing techniques you shared with me, these are all the things I wish I was equipped with 2 years ago. So now I'm just more empowered now to really go out there and you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we worked together, helped to get you these locations before our 6-figure location brochure collection, which just launched in February. And now you've gotten your first look at the data entry, the fact finding, right? We vetted the marketplace. We know where the opportunities are. And now you get to be able to take these amazing brochures and bring them into the locations. Like, we literally just finished that conversation. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I'm very comfortable talking with people, but to have something tangible that is so professional. Going back to the Healthy You, we were given these flyers that look like my kids made them on a project, but these are professional made brochures. They are, if anything, show that you are the real deal and you're not just some person trying to sling vending machines.
And the key behind everything is that folks don't realize when you go into different locations, you have to have a different offer. So our YMCA brochure is completely different from our public school brochure. Our public school brochure is completely different from our gymnastics studio brochure, which is completely different from our blue collar location brochure, right?
Yeah, and I think also the value proposition at each location, which is what we're really going after. It's what is the problem at a public school we're going to solve versus a YMCA. And that's something I didn't have before you guys. I would just be going there with, I have a great product and not I solve problems.
They're just walking in, they're just like, I have this vending machine. That's it. So cool. Well, congratulations on the success. I appreciate being on this conversation. You've got a goal to hit over the next year. What's that goal?
$1 million business.
$1 million vending machine.
This time next year, $1 million in revenue.
We're going to be on here again in a year.
Let's do it. I'll have a warehouse, 5 fleets of cars, too many employees, and I'll have those problems, but those are the problems I want.
Right? I look forward to it. Thanks so much, Alex.
Cool, Ryan. Thank you, man.